Hi guys, I'm Anita and I'm back with another video. Today it's time for another video, and today I'm going to be doing a video that I've seen floating around BookTube for the past couple of months. I know this was an idea that started with Mercy from Mercy's Bookish Musings, and she sort of took a pile of books that she thought she would give 5 stars and talked about them, and then later on she wanted to let us know if she ended up liking the books and how she ended up enjoying them. And I found that concept a lot of fun, and I kept thinking about how I was going to do this because I don't have a lot of books at hand at the moment. The majority of my books are wrapped up in wrapping paper, so I'm going to be unwrapping them eventually, so I couldn't really take them and add them to this pile because generally I'm supposed to sort of read them in a shorter period of time and then come back and let you know how my initial thoughts ended up being with these books. So I found 5 books that I think I will grant 5 stars to. I have a feeling I will for different reasons, and they contain 3 books from my physical shelves and 2 Kindle books. So yeah, let's get into them. The first one of the books that I probably will give a really high rating is The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. I think I will give this 5 stars. That's my initial thoughts at the moment. I'm really excited to get started with this. Me and Rhea from Buffinkins, we're going to be starting a buddy read of this really soon. So I'm really excited to get to this because I really think that it's a book that I'll end up really enjoying. It comes down to what I've heard other people saying about it, because I have seen very great reviews of it lately, and I know that Caitlin from Kitty G really enjoyed this book as well when she read it. This is a debut novel by a self-published author, and I think there's a publisher that's taken him in now because they really also saw some promise in him. But yeah, let's just read a short prompt of this. As a student of the gifted, Davian suffers the consequences of a war fought and lost before he was born. Despised by most beyond the school walls, and he and those around him are all but prisoners as they attempt to learn to control the gift. Worse, as Davian struggles with his lessons, he knows that there's further to fall if he cannot pass his final tests. But when Davian discovers he has the ability to wield the forbidden power of the augurs, I might be pronouncing that wrong, he sets into motion a chain of events that will change everything. To the north, an ancient enemy long thought defeated begins to stir, and to the west, a young man whose fate is intertwined with Davian's wakes up in the forest covered in blood and with no memory of who he is. And that definitely sounds very intriguing to me. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this, and the ratings on Goodreads is also really high. Yeah, I really have a feeling that I'm really going to enjoy this. So this is my first 5-star prediction. The next book I have on my list is one I'm so excited to get to. I have it on my Kindle, and it is 5 Daughters of the Moon by Lena Likitalo. I hope I'll get to it this month or next month. It's really high on my priorities list at the moment. There's something with this is inspired by the last Romanovs, and anything inspired by the last Romanovs is something that always piques my interest. But yeah, I'll just read the prompt. Inspired by the 1917 Russian Revolution and the last months of the Romanov sisters, The 5 Daughters of the Moon is a beautifully crafted historical fantasy with elements of technology fueled with evil magic. The Crescent Empire teeters on the edge of a revolution, and the 5 Daughters of the Moon are the ones to determine its future. Alina, who is 6 years, fears Gagaji Prataslav. I'm sorry, these names will be butchered completely. And his great thinking machine. The Gagai claims that the machine can predict the future, but at a cost that no one seems to want to know. Muriel, 11, cares only for her dogs, but the smell that comes is afoul with the Gagari. By chance, she learns that the machine devours human souls for fuel, and yet no one believes her claim. Sibylla, who is 15, has fallen in love for the first time in her life. She couldn't care less about the unrest spreading through the countryside or the rumors about the Gregari and his machine. Elise, who is 16, follows the captain of her heart to orphanages and workhouses, but soon she realizes that the unhappiness amongst her people runs much deeper than anyone could have ever predicted. And Celestia, who's 22, who will be the Empress one day. Lately she's been drawn to the Gagari, but which one of them was the first to mention the idea of a coup? I'm going to think this is going to be a really great book. I think it's going to be a duology or something. And it's not a really long book either. Not that that's a concern for me, but I'm definitely over the moon about this book and I can't wait to get into this. I'm actually surprised I haven't read it yet, but I am so excited to get to it. So that is my second 5-star prediction read. The next book that I have on my list is the second book in a series, and even though I didn't give the first one 5 stars, I have a feeling that the second one will definitely be higher on my ratings because of where this author went towards the end and how excited I am to get to this book. And that is The Dark Days Pact by Alison Goodman, the second book in the Lady Helen series. Lady Helen is a girl who is able to wield these powers, and she becomes part of this pact, and she's trying to save the humans from evil demons and stuff. Yeah, and with how the end of the first one ended, I'm really excited to see where this will go in the next one, and yeah, I can't wait to get to it. I'm so excited about these books, and yeah, I hope this will be a 5-star read for me, and I have a feeling that it will be. And then the fourth book on my 5-star predictions list is going to be Among Others by Jo Walton. I really think this is going to be a great book. It's about some witches and dark magic, and this girl who really loves books and sitting and reading and trying to escape from her everyday life with the books, but finds that she has to do something that reading her books will not help her with, or something. And it's won both a Hugo Award and a Nebula Award, so that must mean something as well. And I love the cover. It could be that the cover is deterring my impression, but I have a feeling that I'm really going to enjoy this. I think, is this written in sort of diary form? I'm not sure, but I'll definitely let you know about that. And this is my fourth 5-star prediction. The final book on my list is actually a sneak peek into my new haul. A new book haul. But yeah. That is Europe in Autumn by Dave Hutchinson. I recently received this copy. This is a sort of science fiction spy thriller. And I like spy thrillers. I think they're awesome. So adding some sci-fi elements, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And I think it sounds really amazing. Rudy is a cook in a Krakow restaurant. But when his boss asks Rudy to help his cousin escape from the country he's trapped in, a new career, part spy, part people smuggler begins. Following multiple economic crises and devastating flu pandemics, Europe has fractured into countless tiny nations, duchies, polities and republics. Recruited by the shadowy organization Les Coeurs de Bois, I have never taken French courses, so I don't know if that's completely butchering it. Rudy is schooled in espionage, but when a training mission to the line, a sovereign nation consisted of Trans-Europe railway line, goes wrong, he is arrested and beaten, and Courier Central must attempt a rescue. With so many nations to work in and identities to assume, Rudy is kept busy traveling across Europe, but when he is sent to smuggle someone out of Berlin and finds a severed head inside a locker instead, a conspiracy begins to wind itself around him. With kidnapping, double crosses, and a map that consistently redraws itself, Europe in Autumn is a science fiction thriller like no other. And I'm definitely excited to read this. I love fast-paced books, and I think it's going to be one of those that I just speed through. And I definitely think it's going to be a 5-star read for me as well. So these are my 5-star books predictions. I'm super excited to get into all of these books. I really have a feeling I'm going to give all of these books 5 stars, and I'm really excited about it. I'm also scared that I'm wrong about it and I'll end up being disappointed, but I hope that my predictions are correct for sure. And I also think that my books are very different. Like, there's some historical fiction, some science fiction, some regular fantasy, and I think that's also a good thing, that I have a different sort of variety of books. But definitely let me know in the comments down below if you have any books that you think that you're going to give 5 stars. If you've done this sort of video, definitely also let me know so I can go watch it. I think they're really fun. And I'll leave a link to Mercy's video down below where she's talking about this, so you can see it as well if you haven't already. And then when I've finished reading the 5 books that I've been talking about today, I'll come back and give you a review, like a wrap up of that challenge. And yeah, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.